Welcome back, STOMP Wrestling fam. So, we got an interesting one for you guys as usual. So, I'm with your boy, Mr. No Days Off himself, the editor, the presenter, Mr. WrestleDrop, and it's me, MPKH, filtered, unfiltered, whatever persona I feel like using best. And for today's topic, I might go filtered because we are going to be discussing how the AEW World Championship match should end at Arthur's Ashe, or whatever the pay-per-view is called. Sorry for that. So now let's talk about it. The final is Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson 2. So I thought about this for the past 12 hours, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what is going to happen if both men? Oh wait, no. What is going to happen if one person wins and the other loses? Because I already know your feelings about how on Jon Moxley being a three-time world champion, and in the previous video that we made, we discussed Bryan Danielson should be AEW World Champion. So now, also, this puts Bryan Danielson in a bit of a pickle as well, because if he loses, what's next for him, really? So, what are your thoughts on how the championship match should end? So,
Well, I know your thoughts, and I kind of agree with your thoughts. Obviously, we spoke a bit off camera. But I'm just going to say my initial thoughts before hearing what you had to say. My initial thoughts was just let Danielson go over Moxley in some way. I don't know. Maybe Garcia could get involved because we know Garcia's love-hate relationship with Danielson. I know AEW don't tend to do things like that, but I didn't know where else you go if Moxley's winning, or if it's a match between Moxley and Danielson. They're both a part of the BCC. Why are they facing each other in the first place? I don't quite know. So, what you said to me makes more and more sense, especially the fact that they both in the BCC. They shouldn't be facing each other in the first place. So I'll let you get onto what you were saying because that'll make sense to what I'm trying to get at.
all right. So basically, WrestleDrop and I had this conversation off camera and saying, what if MJF decides to cash in his chip and win the AEW World Championship? So I pictured it like this. Moxley and Danielson are obviously going to beat the cock out of each other. We know this. And both men will be on the ground. The referee will be counting up until 10 until both men get up. So why not have the firm, which is MJF's stable or support cast and is led by Stokely Hathaway, have them out, and the match will end via disqualification because of a brutal beatdown, courtesy of the firm. Everybody does clotheslines, kicks, punches, and then the finishers. And then once they're done with that, MJF comes in with his chip, gives it to that title now. And he pins either Moxley or Danielson for the 1, 2, 3 to become the new AEW World Champion. And I think this makes more sense because it helps both Moxley and Danielson not to look weak.
Exactly.
And the story can progress with whoever chases MJF.
Exactly.
That
and I think it gives real heat to MJF as well. Real heat to disrupt the match, pin somebody. It's not the AEW way. It's not their way at all. So I think it'll give some real heat to him. I think neither one of Moxley or Danielson going over each other is the best option. They're in the BCC. They shouldn't be getting over one another in the first place. I know that we've seen teams and factions go against each other. For example, Dax Harwood and Cash Wielder. But that was a roll-up. It wasn't a clean finish. So, and I don't want to see a roll-up for the AEW World Championship either. So it's kind of a sticky situation. So your
Exactly.
idea of MJF coming mid-match, disrupting everybody, having, what is their name again?
The firm
The Firm.
was
Basically
confirmed.
destroy every. Yeah, it was. Basically destroy everybody. I think it makes perfect sense.
Oh,
Perfect
for
sense.
sure.
And like
And
you
it
said,
even
off camera, MJF said, work smarter, not harder. It's the perfect way.
exactly.
It's the perfect way.
Mhm. Yeah, and plus this would be so different. Like, it won't make a lot of people angry because everybody knows that MJF is going to be world heavyweight champion. It's established. And I don't want to wait till the pay-per-view or whenever MJF decides to cash in that chip, whatever. So yeah. And then how and then have Danielson or Moxley be transitional champions. Because in my opinion, Danielson should have a lengthy world title run. We know what he's capable of. And Moxley is having the hottest year ever. And we know what he's done with the world title. His first reign was impressive. His interim reign was a little bit up and down, but we digress. The second one didn't really matter because he lost it at All Out. I don't know why, 50-50 booking. But again, we digress. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think the story thereafter between Danielson and MJF, because we know Moxley is going on vacation, holiday, whatever the Americans call it, after this match, unless he wins, but we know his plan was to go after All Out. So the storyline between Danielson and MJF afterwards, oh, it could be so good because we know Danielson can play that face that just gets everybody on side with him and everybody hating the heel. He's done it before, so many times, so many times. So I think that would be perfect thereafter.
Yeah, that would be great. I'm not gonna lie. Also, MJF versus Danielson, that would be nice. And then MJF could do the whole 10 lashes thing like he did with Wardlow and Cody, because it's a part of his gimmick, and we all know Danielson will be tough, but he won't be Wardlow tough when taking those lashes.
Exactly. It'll be more like the Cody vibe. Yeah.
Even throw Brie Bella in there, but I don't think that'll happen.
He could,
or just
MJF could put him up against people from the firm, for example, against W. Morrissey, Ethan Page, to get to that step, you know.
Oh yes, that. Oh yes, and also the matches that he could have would be awesome with the firm.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, think about it. Danielson versus Lee Moriarty. Oh man, that sounds underrated, but it would slap.
Ethan Page.
Danielson versus Ethan Page.
Yeah.
Woo. My goodness.
Even his match with W. Morrissey.
Danielson versus
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be like that. That would be a classic. Yeah, but it's different now. It's different now. That could be a classic big guy versus
small guy.
Small guy, and Danielson gets the win in the end. So. But we've seen it before, like you say, but it's not the same. It's totally different now. W. Morrissey's a different guy.
And so is Danielson. So yeah. But yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. MJF winning the world title next week, plus he could even go on he could have a reign of terror, like you say. And if he decides, you know what, I've had my reign of terror, I'm gonna drop the title in 2024 and I'm out. Thank you, AEW. Hell.
If I'm gonna be honest, I don't think MJF's run is gonna be that long. I think you could potentially lose it to Danielson at the next pay-per-view. Or have MJF against somebody else in the meantime, and then Danielson gets his come up, works his way back up, and Danielson, because I don't see anybody else other than Punk, which nobody really wants to see. Moxley could be an option when he comes back, but I kind of want to see Danielson beat him in the end for that title.
Oh yeah, Danielson in the end beating MJF. Yeah, I could see it. I could definitely see it.
Yeah, I don't know. Or they'll probably end up doing Hangman again, to be honest. Which I don't know if I'll be too happy about, because I don't know. I didn't connect with Hangman's reign.
Exactly, bro. I'm gonna say it, but Hangman looked weak going into the world title feud. He looked damn well weak.
Yeah.
The whole story about him versus the Elite, I just wasn't buying it, really.
Yeah.
I really wasn't. And it wasn't even Hangman's fault.
No.
It was just the feud was poorly executed. It really was.
Yeah, it's disappointing. It was disappointing. The run itself was disappointing as well.
Yeah.
But I will say this. MJF's title reign will be, let me rephrase this. The face that beats MJF will be so over at that point. Especially after we have MJF running his mouth for weeks on weeks. Just going at everybody. So it's got to be a true babyface that beats him. Not Moxley, who's this badass babyface. I don't think that win would help the winner. I think Moxley winning wouldn't benefit Moxley in any way. He's already up top there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm thinking someone like Hangman could actually, it could help Hangman winning the title from MJF. Could help him get that big babyface push again. Danielson could benefit him. I don't know anybody else.
I can say two.
Who?
Ricky Starks, probably.
Ooh.
If they want to keep him the baby.
Ooh.
And also, hey, and I know people are going to come in my neck for saying this, but I can see it happening sometime soon. But hell, even Darby Allin, that would be interesting.
No, I don't see it. I do not see it.
Because Darby Allin is that baby face that's cool, that just knows what to do. But
do you understand how MJF do you understand how MJF would kill him on the mic? He would destroy him.
Yeah, we saw that last year. We saw that last year.
Exactly.
But
you got to have someone that can compete with MJF. So like a Ricky Starks and like a Danielson.
But in terms of wrestling, they've got solid chemistry, and Darby Allin is beloved by many AEW fans. So
I'm not a huge Darby Allin fan, so that's just my opinion.
I get you. But he is one of the four pillars, and AEW sees a lot in him. So,
yeah.
But the possibilities are endless. It doesn't have to be Darby. It doesn't have to be Ricky. It can be anybody, really.
I agree.
That's beloved. That is really beloved.
I agree. Well, I think that's us for this video. We've discussed pretty much everything that we can so far. I think you froze. Either you froze or there was awkward moments, but I'll edit it out.
Oh, you froze on my side.
Shit. Okay, I'll edit that out. Just roll the outro and then I'll edit that out.
Alright, sure. But yeah, guys, that is us for today. Like we said, the possibilities are endless, really. So let us know in the comments what you think will happen next week in the main event for the AEW World Championship. Are you Team Moxley? Are you Team Danielson? Are you Team MJF? So if you did enjoy this discussion, please stomp that like button, stomp that subscribe button, and stomp on that bell icon to be notified when your favorite stomp voice appear next on your screen. And also follow us on our social media platforms, both collectively and individually. Thank you for watching. You guys have been too
Sweet.
sweet.